everyone, Bernard here. Hope you're all very well. Please welcome to my film and TV channel. We're looking at a film today, a drama, mystery, romance it's classed as. A little bit more on that later on. Yes, and it's a Netflix film. It's a remake, it's an adaptation of a novel as well. And we're going to have a look today at Rebecca. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications so you know when these vlogs are coming out, and please make sure your notifications are set to public, otherwise you won't get them. And please, if you check the playlist, there's lots of stuff on there: TV drama reviews, movie reviews, even the odd quiz and information vlogs as well. And please, if you or anyone's interested in football, I do vlogs on my football team as well, Manchester City. I do past and present City history and stuff that's going on now. So if you can have a look at that, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Or you know someone who might be interested, please point them in my direction. And all comments are welcome. Try and entertain and inform with these vlogs. So any points you like to make, just leave them in the comments. That'd be superb. If you've no time to leave a comment, it's nice to get views, isn't it? But it's nice to get a thumbs up as well. So if you can give us a thumbs up, that'll be absolutely fantastic. Right, Rebecca, 121 minutes. Just over 2 hours. It's being classed as a 12A at the moment, this one. A British-made romantic thriller, directed by Ben Wheatley, from a screenplay by Jane Goldman, Joe Shrapnel and Anna Waterhouse. And of course, the film is based on the 1938 novel of the same name by Daphne du Maurier. And of course, we did have the Hitchcock, didn't we? The Hitchcock directed classic with Laurence Olivier, Jean Fontaine, George Sanders in 1940, so only a couple of years after the book. That sort of currently holds, this just gives you a guide, an Internet Movie Database user rating of 8.1 out of 10. There's not that many percentage-wise films get over 8 out of 10 on Internet Movie Database, so this still holds that, and that's based on over 120,000 reviews as I'm recording this, scores and reviews. This version stars Lily James, Armie Hammer, Kristen Scott Thomas, Tom Goodman Hill, Keely Hawkes, Sam Riley and Ann Dowd. And just to refresh your mind, what's it about? Well, it's a young newlywed arrives at her husband's imposing family estate on a windswept English coast. Of course, the windswept is the English coast. And finds herself battling the shadow of his first wife, Rebecca, whose legacy lives on in the house long after her death. Is it any good? What are the critics saying? Well, Metacritic, have a look at that. It's got a weighted average of just 46 out of 100, so not fantastic. And that's based on 37 critics' reviews. And it scores anywhere between 3.8 out of 10 and 6 out of 10, which is not fantastic. Los Angeles Times' Justin Chang only gave it 4 out of 10 and wrote, "The filmmakers seem curiously at sea over the purpose of their assignment, possessing neither the patience to plunge headlong into the story's familiar depths, nor the radicalism to reinvent it entirely." Empire, they gave it 6 out of 10. This is Ben Wheatley on a different register, a bigger scale, a more mainstream approach. There's much to like, but the shadow of Alfred Hitchcock looms large. It probably does. Metacritic's audience rating, just 4.2 out of 10, but as I'm doing this, that's only based on 13 reviews and scores, so not very high. Rotten Tomatoes, what did they think? Well, it's only getting a 45% positivity rate, so very similar, isn't it, to the Metacritics. That's based on 153 critics' reviews with an actual 69 fresh and 84 rotten, so obviously far more rotten than fresh. And he gets an average rating of 5.52 out of 10, which is not a total disaster, but not great either. The audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes, who left a score, only giving it a 45% positivity rating. That's based on just over 160 reviews. The website's consensus, when they sum up all the critics, what they think: Ben Wheatley's Rebecca remake is ravishing to behold, but it never quite gets to the heart of the classic source material or truly justifies its own existence. Internet Movie Database, well, yeah, actually, it's not a total disaster. There are over 7,500 reviews, 7,545 reviews and scores left, and it's getting 6 out of 10, which, all right, well down on the 1940 classic, but 6 out of 10 it isn't a total disaster. So I must admit, I did see this score before I watched the film, so I was a little bit optimistic that it's perhaps not that bad. Some of the positives, some of the pros: a decent period yarn based on Du Maurier's novel, great settings and scenery, gripping story and flawless acting, a really entertaining movie. Well, certain of the aspects of that I agree with, but not quite all. Like the subject, not worth 2 hours. It's not a bad movie, but it's nothing special. Don't forget, this is a positive. The performances are good, but the story itself, meh. Lily James is gorgeous though. Well, there you go, Lily James fan. What more can you ask? If you love your actors, you love your actors, don't you? It may, someone else said, it may not achieve classic status, but it is both intriguing and entertaining. Someone else says stylish and beautiful remake. Well, I can't disagree with the stylish and beautiful. It was really well shot. I did enjoy it. A bit more on that in a moment. Someone else said exquisitely beautiful with heart of darkness, just as Du Maurier defined Rebecca. Excellent adaptation of a classic, said another. So there's all the pros and positives. What about the cons? What about the negatives? Someone said adds nothing to the classic, a total waste of 2 hours. Someone else said so disappointing. Someone else said this is not a psychological thriller, although I don't think they put the word psychological. I think obviously they're thinking back to the Hitchcock. This isn't being advertised particularly as a psychological thriller. A mystery, yes, but not a psychological thriller. It's a boring romantic drama. And someone else wrote quite simply, one word: lifeless. Right, movie game nostalgia, my little thoughts on it. It's funny actually, I only watched the 1940 version, well, quite recently, probably a couple of years ago actually, and I did look forward to this latest stuff and see what they could do without the Hitchcock influence, obviously. Both movies are over 2 hours. I think the 1940 version was even longer, but it did feel, you know, this one did feel over 2 hours. The 1940 one didn't. It felt a lot shorter because I quite, you know, really invested in it, sort of thing. So obviously this felt a lot longer. So it's not particularly a good thing. I mean, excellent cinematography, some fantastic location shooting, some lavish sets, some obviously very welcome in these COVID times. You've not been able to get out too much, but yeah, I mean that's the good bits. This one, the new one, at least does not rush the ending, which I think the original did, unfortunately. But many watching this probably have not seen the 1940 version, so you got to sort of look at it from that point of view. Most part would be surprised that it was a Hitchcock thriller. Actually, if you watch this new one, you'd think, "Oh, how did Hitchcock turn this into a thriller?" And this mostly fails to hit the suspense that the original had, and what this to be classed as a thriller should have. But don't forget, it's called a mystery. If we go back to what it's called at the start by various sources, it's called a drama, mystery, romance. So yeah, it's not exactly psychological thriller territory. It's not actually Hitchcockian, if you like, in territory there. So more a romantic drama, in my opinion, with a little bit of mystery thrown in, but it doesn't quite. You know, you think you're going to see a little bit of mystery, a little bit of darkness, and it doesn't quite go there. It doesn't quite hit it. The chemistry with the two leads is okay. I don't think it was that fantastic, but the person who saves it for me, obviously, is Kristin Scott Thomas. Is obviously very watchable, and Mrs. Danvers in this, but I did find it at times a little bit boring. I was waiting for it to get going far too often, and I was a bit disappointed. It never quite got going. And even though they did the ending was okay. I thought the ending was, as I said, a little bit better perhaps than the original, but it was just too little too late, and the whole thing was just too long at 2 hours. I mean, you could possibly have made it tighter with another 20 minutes off or something like that, but it just, for me anyway, it just turned into just another pretty romantic drama where I did enjoy the scenery and some of the acting, etc., but not much else. So I was a little bit disappointed. If you asked me to which one would I rewatch again, I'd go back and watch the black and white 1940 version, to be honest with you. But it's not a total disaster, but a little bit of a disappointment for the obvious budget. Obviously quite a bit of big budget for this as well. So considering the budget put on it, it's not the greatest. My rating, well, I'm going to sit on my fence rating. Well, I'm not going to say, yeah, it's a watchable one, go and watch it. I'm going to do a 5.5 out of 10, which sort of says that, you know, it's okay, but obviously if you really must watch it, and I say probably much better watched as a romantic drama rather than a thriller, mystery, psychological thriller, that's for sure. So, and obviously I think it's best watched if you've not seen the original as well, or even read the book, even if you've not read the book, which obviously is out there, isn't it? So I would say yes, it's just about watchable under that situation. The poster, yeah, a bit boring, isn't it? I mean, again, if you like the actors, it's okay. But I think the poster's bland. I think the film's far better than the poster anyway. But I'm going to give the poster a 5 out of 10 because it's not very exciting. But then it's Netflix, isn't it? It's not a movie release as such. It's a Netflix release. So they're not always the greatest posters, obviously, from the Amazons and the Netflix when they put these films out. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think if you get to watch this, or you're looking forward to it, or you enjoyed it a lot more perhaps than I did. I mean, say 5.5 out of 10 is okay. It's more in line with some of the scores, a little bit lower than Internet Movie Database. But as I say, I just, even though I try to turn off the fact I've seen the first one, it's very hard sometimes when you have seen the original, and because you make obvious comparisons, and even if you're trying to be neutral about it, look at it from a fresh eye, it does taint it a little bit. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please check my links on screen. If you follow and friend me on Facebook and Twitter, I do check every couple of days and follow and friend back. So if you're after some extra followers, etc., please do that. And of course, if you check out my playlist, as I said, we do little football ones as well as the movie, TV, dramas and quizzes, reviews, etc. And if you can check out my website, moviegamenostalgia.com. I did own a video shop for a few years in the 90s and 2000s, so I do sell old rare DVDs, movie posters from the 1990s and 2000s, and some board games as well. So if you can check that out, absolutely fantastic. Anyway, thanks for watching. Whatever you're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your family. More importantly, let's all look after each other. Until we meet again, please stay safe, everyone. Bird is saying goodbye for now.